Hello, my name is Michael Beer. I represent Maywood Civic Federation. I'd like to ask you about lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender rights. We have quite a few people, lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender orientations in Maywood and in Arlington, and also women's right to choose an abortion. I'd like to hear your views on these issues.
Let's start with the first person again we did the last time. You start, Barbara, with the answer.
Okay.
Sorry.
All right. Well, I'm a strong supporter of pro-equality, as I said in my opening remarks. I think the Marshall-Newman Amendment should be removed, and that really is an amendment to the state constitution that bans gay marriage. I think one of the issues that we may be able to make progress with in the General Assembly is permitting gay parents to act as foster parents, or permitting same-sex couples to perhaps adopt children. I don't know if we'll make a lot of headway there, but it is one of the areas that I care about, and one of the areas I'm certainly interested in proactively acting on. I'm 100% pro-choice as well. Thank you.
Thank you. There are millions of good people on both sides of this issue. I'm pro-life, but I have a record of helping women who are homeless, who have been abused, who have had to rebuild their lives. In fact, the Women's Center in Vienna, Virginia gave me their annual leadership award, recognizing all of the work that I've done for women. The company that my husband and I co-founded with 1,100 employees, over half of the management team were women. So I'm pro-women. And in terms of discrimination, I think discrimination is wrong. I've hired people from all walks of life. I've worked with people from all walks of life and from the entire political spectrum. When I hired people, it was based on merit. It was based on, could you do the job? Could you fill the customer's needs? Could you create value and solve problems? Thank you.
Good evening, Beth Wolf from Acton. Northern Virginia has one of the lowest unemployment rates in the country, but it's still nearly double what it was prior to the recession. Most people know someone who's unemployed or underemployed, a college graduate who can't find work. As State Senator, Ms. Favola, what will you try to do to create jobs in Northern Virginia?
Thank you, Beth. I think the role of government is to create an environment where businesses want to come and want to do business, and of course are willing to employ people. Arlington, in some of my experiences in Arlington, I will take to the state senate. What we did is we made investments. We invested in public transportation, so we became a good place to live. We made investments in education. We have one of the best K-12 systems. In the General Assembly, I will work very hard to ensure that our Northern Virginia Community College system actually has enough resources and capacity to accept every eligible student. So these are the kinds of things that government can do: investing in education, investing in higher ed, linking education and job training, and I think that I can do a good job at that. I will conclude by saying that I have served on the Northern Virginia Regional Partnership and actually succeeded in bringing a significant amount of federal money to this region, where we were able to retrain folks who were unemployed. So, thank you.
Thank you, Beth. I worked on the Governor's Bipartisan Economic Development and Jobs Creation Commission with experts from across this Commonwealth in workforce development and in academia and in economic development, and with other entrepreneurs. Also, as someone who's created a company that grew to 1,100 people, I truly understand the courage and sacrifice that it takes to start and grow a business. A lot of the proposals that I made on the technology subgroup of the Governor's Economic Development and Jobs Creation Commission were actually passed into law, tax credit for companies. I actually believe that we need a permanent research and experimentation tax credit to have a big sign on the Commonwealth saying, if you have the courage to start a business, we support you. As I travel throughout this district and I talk to small business owners, they say, too many regulations, too many taxes. I have to let go of employees before, in order to pay taxes. And I don't think that's right. I think we should celebrate entrepreneurs, celebrate people from all walks of life who start and grow businesses, because that is the future for this Commonwealth and this country.
Okay. We will have closing statements starting with Merrick and followed by...
What?
I'm right along with Randy. And Bob.
Thank you. Ms. Merrick, you mentioned transportation improvements, but you didn't say anything about how you would find revenue for something like that. That's been the big problem with our transportation improvements for the past few years. Would you support, for example, an increase in gas tax or other new sources of revenue to make transportation improvements really happen?
Thank you. That was a very good question, and I'm sorry that I missed your name. I believe that to solve our transportation problems, we have to think of 3 areas. Capacity, which is roads and bridges. Efficiency, which is using technology so that commuters have choices about when they travel and all kinds of technology. And modes of travel, which includes bus, rapid transit, the metro system. I don't believe a gas tax is sustainable. We know more and more people are teleworking, they're driving energy-efficient cars, and I don't think, if you want sustainable revenue, the gas tax isn't where it should be. I agree with our Democratic Senators Warner and Webb, who are proposing that we sell offshore leases so that we have revenue coming from Virginia energy, Virginia jobs, and dedicated revenue. And I also support a myriad of other forms of revenue for transportation. I do not support the gas tax.
I think it's really important that residents and businesses in Northern Virginia demand that the General Assembly come up with a dedicated source of revenue. There are many options we could use to do this. A couple years ago, the General Assembly had a bill that included increases in the tiling fees, or increases when you purchased a car, increases in various other fees. Gasoline tax was a consideration. Part of the gasoline tax advantage is linked to road usage, and of course people from outside of the region would be paying the tax, as well as those inside the region. And you have to remember that Virginia has one of the lowest gasoline tax in the entire country, and the surrounding states all have a higher gasoline tax. I think the bottom line here is we have a problem, we have to fix it, and we really have to come up with a stream of revenue that we can say it's accountable and it's transparent and it'll be there when we need it. Thank you.